Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Pocket video here on iStarly TV. Today I have a brand new deck and this is a spicy one. This is a fire deck, literally. I'm playing Houndoom in Ranked for this video, and so Houndoom is like one of my favorite Pokemon. I mean, I have a lot because I love Pokemon in general, and there's 1,000 of them, so you know there's a lot of Pokemon that I love, but I really love Gen 2, and Houndoom has always just been so cool to me. So I really wanted to build a deck, and when I was opening packs of whichever set this was in, was it the most recent one, or Triumphant Light, or the one before that? Whichever set this was in, when I was opening those packs, for some reason, it just gave me so many of these full art Houndooms. If you can see right there, I have 4 of them. And I opened more. I opened like 6 or 7, and so I converted a couple of them into, what is it called, like Flare or whatever. But either way, I think this is such a great Pokemon. And the ability, or rather the move, is very much like Arbok from Genetic Apex, which is a card that I also really liked. The downside is that this is a fire Pokemon, and it doesn't really pair really well with other fire types in the game at the moment. But one Pokemon that it does pair well with, because just about everything in the game pairs really well with it, is Magnezone. I was trying to build like a really interesting, unique deck for this video, and everything I settled on either had like Magnezone or Giratina EX or Darkrai EX. Like those are like the pillars of the meta. And again, you can really build pretty much any deck with those Pokemon because they're pretty self-sufficient, and yeah, I mean, they're just really, really good. So unfortunately, this is a Magnezone deck, which is nothing new, nothing super exciting, but it is very strong. And of course, I am also playing Houndoom here. And the rest of the deck, honestly, now that I think about it, I should probably try to add some amount of red or something like that. At least 1 copy of red, I think, would really help. I don't know what I'll switch it for. Let me go ahead and do that right now. But everything else in the deck, I really like Sabrina because it combos with Houndoom. With Sabrina, you can pull in one of their benched Pokemon and then use Houndoom's move to lock it in so that they cannot switch. I like Iono here because I have a stage 2 in the form of Magnezone, so I kind of feel like it's necessary. Cape is also pretty good here because my basic Pokemon are pretty weak. Like they die pretty easily. I guess I could drop 1 Cape. It's also possible I could just drop a Leaf. I think I'm going to drop a Leaf here. I'm not sure that's correct, but like I said, I really feel like we want at least 1 red. And let me make sure to flare it up because I like using flare. And yeah, that's the deck. Let me go ahead and show it like this. Like I said, Magnezone is just such a great Pokemon because of Magneton. Magneton can give it electric energy, and then from there you can just use literally any other Pokemon in the game with Magnezone because it pairs really well. It's kind of like Giratina in that way. That's why Giratina is so good. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and try this out. Let's see how it does. I haven't played Ranked for a while because I was doing okay. Like I got to Ultra Ball 2, and then I just lost like 5 games in a row, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break. I'm way too tilted. So I took like a break for like a couple days from playing, just because I wanted to kind of reset a little. So I'm jumping right back in with a really random deck that I'm not even sure is gonna be any good. So let's try it out. And we have an opponent here. One other thing I didn't really mention about the deck was Houndoom and Magnezone pair decently well together because there are a lot of Meowscarada decks running around, so Houndoom is good against Meowscarada, obviously. And then also, you know, Magnezone's really good against water decks, but water is the weakness of Houndoom, so it kind of balances out in that way. I guess we don't have communication in our deck, so we should just play the second Houndour. My opponent appears to be playing, what is it called? Gallade EX. So we get to start here. I think I'm just going to fire off Iono, and I actually don't think there's any reason for me to hold on to Houndour. Like I said, I'm not playing communication in my deck, and if I were, then that would be a reason to hold on to Houndour, but we're just going to go ahead and cycle through. Actually, you know what? I guess one reason I could have held on to that second Houndour was because I would draw 1 more card in that way, but we end up drawing both evolutions, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, because we went first, we cannot put an energy on Houndour, so we're not going to be able to attack with Houndoom until the following turn. Not our next turn, but the turn after that. So that is a little unfortunate. They draw Hitmonlee, which is kind of scary, and then they're going to communication probably into one of Ralts's evolutions, making it a lot more likely that they're going to be able to hit Gallade on time, which is horrible for us. Gallade is truly scary. I guess Gallade is not that strong against Houndoom. I mean, it kills Houndoom still. They go into Hitmonlee, though. I'm just going to put one energy onto Houndour, probably attack Hitmonlee, and then go from there. I'm just trying to think. Oh, no. Since I edited my... Oh, that's so bad. Since I edited my deck... So when I built the deck, I built it with just fire energy. But when you edit your deck, for some reason, this is really annoying. It automatically, like, places the amount of energy in your deck for the types that you have, if that makes any sense. So, like, I have a fire and an electric type in my deck, but I forcibly only put fire energy in my deck. But then when I edited it, it reset it, and it automatically added electric energy to my deck, which is really annoying. Luckily for me, Houndoom can attack with one fire and one non-fire energy. So this ends up working out for me really well. And I'm still not going to play the cape. I get to knock out Hitmonlee here, which is amazing. And then, yeah, we just get to kind of go from there. But unfortunately, we have electric energy on our deck, which is really random. I mean, that might end up helping us at some point. But for right now, it ended up working out. Maybe not helping us, but, you know, that might not be that big of a deal for this game. Now, my biggest hope is that they do not draw Gallade. But this is actually really bad here, because if my math is correct with Gallade, it would do, I think, 110 damage to my Houndoom. But that was a great draw for me. That was a great draw. So I'm going to go ahead and evolve this one in the back. Because I was going to put a cape on my Houndoom, on my active Houndoom, but since Kirlia already attacked me, now if they go into Gallade, its attack will do, again, I think it'll do 110 damage to me, which will obviously knock me out even with the cape equipped. So I'm going to save the cape for my back Houndoom. I don't think there's a reason for me to hold on to it. I'm just going to go ahead and corner here, lock them in, and do a lot of damage to them. Luckily as well, we are not playing EX Pokemon in our deck, so if they knock out my Houndoom, they are only getting 1 point, and it only brings them 1 point closer to winning the game. Another thing I would not like to see here is some healing on their part. I mean, I really just need Magneton. If I can draw Magneton, I think we're on our way to winning this game. But until I do, it's going to be pretty scary. I guess another thing that I could hope for is my opponent to not draw any healing, which they still have not. So we are going to be able to knock out Gallade here. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to knock out Gallade, but we are going to be able to survive an attack from Gallade. Because like I said, they're going to do 110 to me. But unfortunately, if they have like Giovanni, or if they have some healing, this is going to be a kind of a nightmare for us. But I mean, honestly, the game is going pretty well for us so far, all things considered, and they cannot retreat here. So if they have healing, or even worse, if they have Giovanni, this is going to be a horrible situation for us. They don't. Okay, well, we win the game. We win the game off of the back of Houndoom. That's awesome. Like I said, and there's the Magneton, super, super late, but it ends up not mattering because Houndoom just kind of plowed through their team. That was amazing. Yeah, I love Houndoom. Look how sick that is. Let's just admire how beautiful that is right now. Yeah, I mean, hey, because the Gallade EX deck is a good deck. Like, I just beat a good deck. I'm happy about that. I am definitely proud. As you can see there, my rank, you know, the thing about hitting rank in this game is if you just play a lot of games, you will get there eventually. You'll get to Master Ball eventually, but that means you'd have to play like a lot of games. You could play just about any deck and you'll get there. If you're playing a meta deck, you're guaranteed to get Master if you just play a sheer number of games. Obviously, if you happen to have an amazing win rate, you'll take fewer games to get there, but you know, if you're someone who's kind of struggling, and I guess I should take my own advice, if you're someone who's kind of stressed out with the ranked system, just know that, again, if you just dedicate time, if you just sit down and play, you can hit Master Ball. But again, it just depends on, like, if you think that's worth your time, which some people it is, some people it's not. Either way, we got a win with the Houndoom deck, which I'm super happy about. Let's go to another game here. All right, we have another opponent here. We are going second this time, which might help. My opponent is playing a water deck, and of course we're going to be leading with Houndoom, but most of these water decks lead with either Manaphy or Magikarp, neither of which does any... Oh, I'm extremely wrong. Okay, let's see how we do against Articuno. Articuno, I think, is still a pretty decently good deck, but it just doesn't see quite as much play. I think the best water deck right now, at least the most popular, is the deck I was talking about, the Manaphy Gyarados EX deck. So we're going to do a little bit of poke damage to them. Let's go ahead and research here. So, I mean, this is the thing about the Articuno decks. If they hit Misty, not only if they have Misty in hand and if they get some heads with it, that sounds kind of weird. We're just going to get obliterated with our little puppy, sadly. And that's going to set us back a lot, in all honesty. We're going to really, really hope that we draw a Magneton. I am going to go ahead and do a tiny bit of damage here with the Flare. And if they have a Misty, we are in a ton of trouble. If they don't have Misty, or if they flip Tails with it, then we get a little bit of breathing room. But, I mean, that's how volatile these games are. Rocket Grunt is an awful card in this situation. I mean, they got heads, but we only have one energy anyway. I mean, I guess well, you know what? This is not awful. This is actually pretty good for them because it does set them back. Or, sorry, it sets me back. Because now I cannot... well, I could evolve my Houndour, but I'm not able to knock them out. So that is actually... honestly, that's pretty annoying. So, I think I will just double evolve, though, because there's no reason not to. I mean, again, if I draw Iono, maybe there was an argument for keeping one of these, but let's just... oh, wait, but now I can't attack, duh. Okay, well, we'll just pass. This also means that they need Misty in order to knock us out here. Otherwise, if... oh, okay, of course. Okay, everyone. Okay, you can stop. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was probably not the smartest play for me to double evolve, honestly. I mean, it's fine. I don't have Iono in hand, so it's fine. We get to go into Magnemite. We are their weakness. We're probably losing this game. I need Magneton, like, now, and even then, I think we're just falling too far behind, yeah. We could Sabrina, but yeah, we can't win. We didn't draw well. Okay, let's go to another game. All right, we're going second here. Against a water deck again. Okay, it's the Manaphy deck, okay. So obviously water is our weakness, but we are playing Magnezone, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And their setup Pokemon, like Manaphy and potentially Magikarp, don't do any damage. So this is actually pretty good. That was a good draw for us, because we get to curve. We get to hit them for 20, and then the next turn knock them out with Houndoom. And then we have the combo of Sabrina, Houndoom. So even though they're a water deck, we might be able to get some knockouts here. So let's go ahead and play a Magnemite. We have another research to try to dig for a Magneton. And let's just go ahead and Flare. They probably do have, like, Magikarp and or Palkia in hand, but they might have just held on to it. Oh, they have Arceus. Wow, okay. Interesting. That is scary. Well, they actually can't... wow, they just had everything. If they go into Arceus after I knock out Manaphy, they can't attack me next turn. I mean, if they go into Articuno, they can. Okay, nice. Okay. This is going decently for us. So again, we're just going to put an energy onto... that's great for me. That's great because, yeah, we just get to easily knock that out. I'm not sure my opponent was expecting me to have Houndoom, or maybe they don't even know what Houndoom does, but obviously if they were aware of the damage that Houndoom can do, that's a great draw. Then they would have probably not put the cape on it. I guess they were worried, like, if I have, like, a Giovanni or something, I could still knock them out, but whatever. Let's go ahead and use Magneton's ability, of course. And then put the second energy onto Doom. We're going to knock out Manaphy here. And then they're going to go into Articuno. I guess if I cape here, then if they go into Articuno, then they actually can't knock me out with Blizzard. If they hit Misty, yeah. And they can't Misty and Giovanni in the same turn. So, yeah, putting a cape there allows me to survive a potential Misty, flurry on the Articuno. And we get to lock them in, which is actually kind of cool because it means that we survive an attack from them this turn no matter what. Then next turn we hit them for 60, which is something. Actually, we can hit for 80. Then the following turn we can Magnezone and kill them. So this is really good. And this is the power of Corner from Houndoom. I was going to say Corner because I know that that's Arbok's attack, but I didn't know if it was the same name for Houndoom, and it turns out it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're definitely going to do this. And I think I'll play Magnemite just in case they Sabrina me. I guess if they have like an Iono, that could be really scary. And then I'm going to go ahead and put an energy here. I will just go ahead. I could also Sabrina them into something, right? Is that even better? Actually, that's better. Yeah, that's better, I think. I mean, this means I'm missing out on an extra 20 damage, but they can't knock me out next. They can't knock out Houndoom next turn, and they cannot retreat with Arceus. So we might have the win set up right here. They need like Irida or Pokemon Center. Actually, Pokemon Center Lady doesn't do it. And actually, Irida might not do it because I have red. So this is looking really nice for us here. And you can see the power of that combo, Sabrina into Corner. It's really, really strong. So let's go ahead and do this. I mean, we can just kill them with Houndoom. Honestly, let's do that because I love Houndoom so much. Let's just go ahead and finish the game with Houndoom so Houndoom can be our all-star for the game. Beautiful. You love to see it. Hey, this deck is performing so much better than I anticipated. But I think the combo, like I said, I mean, Magnezone, well, on the one hand, Magnezone is very good. So I was going to say, like, you know, I'm playing Magnezone, so it kind of feels like maybe the deck isn't as good as like, Houndoom might not be as good as I'm saying it is because I'm playing a really, really good card in the form of Magnezone. But Houndoom has been carrying these games. So, yeah, put some respect on Houndoom's name. Let's go back to the deck list. And that is the deck. And as you saw in those games, honestly, this deck is really solid. And the funny thing is, there are 3 Pokemon that do kind of the same thing as Houndoom. There's Houndoom, there's Arbok, and then there's Galvantula. Houndoom and Arbok are very similar in that they both require 1 energy of their type, and then they require a colorless energy. They both do 60, and they both lock the opponent in from escaping. Galvantula, on the other hand, requires double electric energy, and it does the same thing where it makes it so that the enemy cannot retreat. But Galvantula does 70 damage, which obviously that's really good with Magnezone because it's also an electric type. But the big downside with Galvantula is that it has 80 HP, which is significantly less than 100. And in testing, I just found that like Galvantula is kind of awkward. Like, as you saw in a couple of those games, having 100 HP or even 120 with a cape on Houndoom is actually super clutch. And if I were using Galvantula, it would only bump it up to 100, which in the case of like the first game, they would have actually, with Gallade, they would have actually knocked me out even with a cape. So there are situations where Galvantula can be really, really good, but I'm liking Houndoom. I don't want to change something that's working really well, but either way, let me know in the comments what you think of this deck. Let me know if you want to try it out for yourself, if you have any suggestions for any changes. I mean, as always, when it comes to the trainers, there's so many options, so there's probably a situation where you could swap a certain card for another card and have it do really well, but let me know in the comments what you think, and again, I'm really happy about this video, so thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, please subscribe for more TCG Pocket videos, and have a great day. I'll see you next time.